Welcome to your Pilates Reformer workout. Today we're going to be doing a full body workout. We're going to hit some fun variations and really work on some muscle stabilization with a little bit of flexibility thrown in. Today this is going to be an express version of this workout. If you're interested in a longer version with more variations, more challenge, and a little bit of jump board at the end, check out this link to my membership where you can sign up to get access to that. Meet me lying down. We're going to go for 3 reds and a blue. Headrest will go down and we'll get started. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I post new workouts every Tuesday and I hope to see you there. So yes, I typically start in footwork, but today we're gonna add a little bit of new spice to it. So we'll start off with some pelvic lifts to orient ourselves into the deep core, and then we'll add on some newer spicy footwork variations onto that after. Heels on the outer corners of the foot bar. Find your neutral spine. So what does that mean? We want to get the pubic bone and the hip bones on the same level. Ribs are heavy, nice natural curve in the low back. Roll back the shoulders. Give yourself some room between the shoulder blocks and your shoulders. Deep breath in, exhale. Try to keep the carriage still while lifting your hips up only as high as a fist distance away from the mat. So it's not a full bridge. It's just a little tiny baby lift. And lower down. So this time as you press up, try to think about your hip bones pulling together, squeezing together using your lower abdominals, especially your deep core. Inhale, lower down. So I'm not so much curling the pelvis under, or at least I'm trying not to. We want to keep that neutral spine as we lift up, zipping the abs in and up, hip bones pulling together, like there's a rubber band connecting them. And I'll give you a little spoiler. This is a preparation for some little pelvic lifts that we will do while we are doing footwork. So we'll go for another 5. I'm going to keep the back of your neck really long. 4. And if the carriage moves a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Just really try to zero in on control, core stabilization, and just get a little bit warmed up. Heavy sacrum. Our bottom of the sacrum very heavy, and last one. Good. Now we're going to stay rooted in the second position or wide heel position. Move away from the shoulder blocks if you've scooted up. We're going to exhale, press the carriage long, lengthen legs. Inhale, bring it back in slowly with control. Big breath in, exhale. Zip the abs in and up. Bring it back in with control. We're going to go for 6. And in. Both legs straighten at the same time. And in. Try to flex your feet at the ankles, not just at the toes. 4. Every time you straighten, every time you begin to straighten, abs are zipping in and up. And you want to feel like your ribs are scooping in together and up. Last 2. And 1. Good. Bring it all the way home. Now we find that pelvic lift again. You can lift your hips up just as high as a fist. Hold that hover. Extend. Bring it in slowly with control. Make sure your hips aren't dipping down too much or too little. Rather, that they're not lifting or lowering. You want to keep them at roughly the same height. We've got 6. We've got 5. We've got 4, 3, last 2, holding the core nice and stable, and 1. Bring it all the way home, close the stopper, then lower the pelvis. Heels to foot bar, feet come together, inner thighs zip. We're going to flex the feet once again at the ankle, not just at the toes. We really want to get that full bend in the ankle. Bottom stays down. We're going to press out. Legs extend. Reach your pinky toes for your nose while you're here. It's not just all about the big toe. Exhale, extend. Back in with control, pushing through the heels into the foot bar. We've got 6. This is 5. Abs still zipping in and up, and ribs scoop in and up together as you extend the legs. 3. Last 2. And 1. Bring it all the way in. Guess what we're doing next? We're going to hover the hips above the mat, just in that little pelvic lift. Keep them high as you press out. Bring it in. Hips are staying just at the same height the whole time. If you need to adjust your feet, stop and do that. Good, let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in, close the stopper, lower your hips down. Arches, hip distance apart from each other. Knees right in line with your toes. Bottom stays down. Press out. Bend the knees, bring it in. Adjust your feet if you need to. You want your toes pointing directly forward. You can curl them over. I'm just keeping them kind of relaxed and neutral. Spoilers, knowing that you're going to lift your butt in a sec. Let's go for 5. And back. This is 4. Last 3. Keeping your knees tracking directly in line with your hips and right over your toes. And 1. Very good. Close the stopper with control. Lift your hips up. Keep that little tiny hover. Check your height with your own fist. Let's press out. Bend the knees, bring it in. Press out, bring it in. Exhale as you go out, inhale as you return. We're going to go for 5. Last 4. 3, probably feeling a lot of hamstrings right now. Some calves, probably some other stuff. Last 1. Good. Close the stopper. Lower your hips. Last but not least, let's take Pilates V. Heels together, toes apart. So toes are on the foot bar, heels are lifted. Neutral spine. Keep your butt down. Extend the legs long. Zip up long and tall at the extension. Bring it all the way back in. Press out. Extend long. Zip the inner thighs. Bring the abs with it up to the sternum and back. This is 6. 5. 4, 3, find that long, juicy extension, not popping into the joints. 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in. I can already tell this one's going to be a doozy. Let's close the stopper. Give yourself a little space. Hover your hips above the mat. Still in this external rotation, heels high, butt stays lifted. Extend and bring it home. You've got 6. Don't let your butt go too high or too low. 5. Whew. 4. My quads are burning. Last 2. Use your core. And 1. Very nice. Bend the knees, bring it all the way home. Close the stopper. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock your hips side to side. We'll move on in a sec. Continuing on with some familiar themes, based on what we just did, we'll do 2 reds and a blue or 2 heavy, 1 light. Headrest will stay down. Come back to lying down on the machine. We'll place arches of the feet on the foot bar, toes, knees, and hips aligned, arms long by your sides. We'll go right into our articulated bridge, curl up through the pelvis, roll the spine up, find your big diagonal line in your bridge, knees, hips to shoulders. Roll it down, articulating the spine 1 bone at a time. If you did my workout last week, you'll know we worked on these. The goal here is to melt the spine into the mat so each individual bone is making contact with the mat, and as a result we get this great big scoop in the pelvis, lots of abdominal work. Really challenge yourself to get each bone of the mat to make contact. It's a little harder than it seems and it requires a lot of control. 2 more. It's worth working on. Good to have a nice mobile spine. Ideally, we want to move every single segment, or be able to move every single segment. Last one, make sure as you reach the top, you're not popping your ribs up. So we want the ribs nice and heavy, not popped up like we do in yoga. Hold here, press out. Bring the carriage in. Think about your knees coming on an upward diagonal so your butt doesn't sink down. Exhale, extend. Knees come in and up. Abs stay zipped in and up. Rib cage zipped together and up toward your sternum. Ooh, Close the stopper carefully. Let's do 2 more. Shoulders down and relaxed, neck is long. Come back almost to a close. Hold it there. Gather yourself, stabilize yourself through the core. Right leg extends up to the ceiling. Let's lower the leg down to 45. Shh, exhale, bring it up. Lower the leg down to 45. Shh, exhale, bring it up. Let's go for 3, 2, hips stay high, abs stay on. 1, shh. Lower the leg down, press away with the left leg this time. Oh yeah. Bring it all the way back in. 4 more. That's a heavy spring on that leg, but it's good for control, good for strength. Bring that in with control. Don't let the spring control you. Last one. Keep your hips high. Bend the knee, lower it down. Keep your butt up. Readjust your feet if you need to. Left leg up. Lower the leg down to 45. Bring it back up to 90. Lower the leg down. Exhale, bring it up. Lower it down. 2 more. And then we wail on that right hamstring in 1 sec. Now we lower the left leg down. Exhale, press away on that right leg. Keep your bottom high. Bring it in with control. Exhale, left leg comes up, right leg extends. 3 more. Abs stay zipped in and up. Last 2. And 1. Bring it all the way in. Bend your left knee. Find your nice big organized bridge. Close the stopper. Now articulate the spine down 1 bone at a time. Big scoop under with the pelvis. Oh boy. Walk your feet as wide as the foot bar. Rock your knees side to side. Take a quick figure 4 stretch. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Thread your hands through the thighs. Press away on your right knee. You can even place your left foot on the foot bar if you like, and just rock the legs side to side. That could feel really nice too. Pick whichever one resonates for you. We'll go for the other side. Left ankle crosses the right thigh. Grab onto your thigh and pull it in if you like. Or if it's more your speed, to place the right foot down on the foot bar. And rock your legs side to side. Take that option now. Let's move on. Today, you may have observed, today we're not necessarily following a revolutionary class flow, but we are adding in some different variations that are making us work a little bit differently and work a little bit harder. So hands and straps. We'll go for arms extended up over the shoulders. You want to plug the shoulders into the mat so that the collarbone is really wide. Legs will come up to tabletop. We'll take a big breath in, get your shins really parallel to the ceiling. Deep breath in, exhale, curl up, reach your fingertips long. Try to find the bottom tips of your shoulder blades while keeping the shoulders back. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. Try to zip your abs in and up toward your sternum. And of course, anytime you like, you could extend one or both legs out to 45. Extend both out to 45 and bring them in. Or you could even keep the legs out at 45 as the arms come up. I'm going to keep the legs at tabletop for now. And anytime your neck gets tired, you can lower it down. Let's go for 4. 3. When you curl up, try to feel like you're holding a tangerine between your chin and your collarbone. And 1. Hold your curl. We're going to extend the legs out. Exhale, bring them in, closer to chest than tabletop. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring them in. This is 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Raise the arms, lower the head. Rest your feet on the foot bar, rock your knees side to side, rock your head side to side, do what you gotta do. Let's go for on a diagonal, working the obliques. So arms come extending up over your shoulders, legs to tabletop. And of course, if you'd like to keep the head and chest down at any point, feel free to do that. We're going to exhale, curl up if you like, arms extend out, legs extend to 45. Exhale, bring knees to right shoulder together. Extend out, knees to left shoulder. This is 5. Torso stays centered. Extend out, 4. So the legs are zipped together. 3. And other shoulder. Last 2. Curl up a little taller if you can. Last 1. Abs stay zipped in and up. Good. Extend out to center. Legs to tabletop. Raise the arms up. Feet to the outer corners. Rock them side to side. Place your straps back wherever you got them. Hug your knees in toward your chest. Take a big breath in. Squeeze the shins or squeeze the legs in toward your torso. Hold your ankles. Let your knees go wide. Feet dip down. Let the weight of your legs press into your hands. Feel your inner thighs. And pelvic floor release. Let your upper body relax. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Let's roll up to sitting and move on. All right, turning to face the poles, I've got 1 red or 1 heavy spring on to start. Knees are up against the shoulder blocks. Grab the straps, thread your arms through the loops. Grab the ropes above the hardware. We're going to start in a seated position. You could be in a cross-legged position. I like to sit on my heels for this. We will start to raise the hips if you're up for that in a sec. To begin, arms are long. Let's start by sitting up tall so that we're not in a slumped position. We've got length through the lumbar spine, but we're also not extending through the back. The rib cage is closed. Start by rounding the shoulders forward and plugging the shoulders back. Rounding the shoulders forward, letting them drift forward, and plugging the shoulders back. So ideally what should be happening is we're separating the shoulder blades as we let the hands drift forward, and we're pulling the shoulder blades together and down without changing the rib cage. So what I commonly see in person is as people pull the shoulders back, they also pop their ribs up and extend the back. We really want that rib cage to stay connected down toward the pelvis, almost like there's a piece of tape running from your sternum down to your belly button that's holding that nice down position. Let's go for 4. So again, this doesn't have a lot of power, but we're just practicing getting the shoulder blades moving so that when we start to do bigger movements, we have the sensation in our bodies. I've lost track of how many we're doing. Let's do 2 more. Send me your favorite Pilates instructors can't count meme. Good, last one. Okay, now we're going to plug the shoulders back and get them to start there. Next, we'll press the hands back behind the hips to grow taller. Inhale, bring the arms forward. So we don't want anything changing in the rib cage. We don't want to arch the chest up or pop the ribs. We want to keep that torso really, really stable. Hands are facing your legs the entire time. Palms are facing your legs, rather. And we're really using a lot of back muscles here. Certainly biceps and shoulders as well. But we want to feel like we've got those shoulder blades moving down and together, just as we cued on the last one. Lots of lats as well. Good, let's go for 4. And back. Abs can be on as well, of course. Use your breath to get them to zip in and up. Final 2. Again, that chest isn't popping up as the hands go back. We want the abs to stay on, and they won't if the ribs are popping. So now, same concept, but this time we're going to lift your butt and come up to a kneeling position. If that doesn't work for you, stay seated and just repeat the last one. So we're going to start to pull the straps back, squeeze the butt, lift up to this kneeling position as you press the hands back. Start to lower down with control as you bring the arms forward. Find your neutral spine. Make sure you're always coming back to this home base. Exhale. Put a little pressure in the strap before you start to lift. Squeeze the glutes. Lower down, bring it back with control. Palms are always facing your sides. And up. Good. Let's do 3 more. And down. Really control that return. Stay safe. Get the most out of this that you can. Relax your upper traps. Really feel that connection in your back muscles. And down. Good. Take both straps in one hand. Reach back out on a blue spring or light spring, so you're on one heavy, one light. Thread your hands through those straps one more time, holding onto the ropes above the hardware or above the knots. Hinging the torso forward. Again, not rounded. We've got length through the lumbar spine, but our whole torso is leaned forward. Row. You're going to bend the elbows, bring them back behind the body, and extend. Make sure this isn't all shoulders or bicep. We want to feel that same sensation of the shoulder blades, the shoulders shrugging and the shoulder blades coming together. Of course, abs need to be on to support you in this leaning position as well. Good. Let's go for 4. Last 3. Start with the back muscles. 2. And 1, hold it back. Surprise, surprise. Pulses back and forth. Let's go for 10, 9, just a couple centimeters. 7, 6, 5, keep the ribs down. 4, feel those bottom tips of the shoulder blades squeeze together. And last 1. Good. Extend the arms forward. Grab both straps in one hand. I'm going to come down to a cross-legged position. Sit however you feel is comfortable for you. Nice and tall. Again, lift it out of your low back without popping the rib cage. Theme of the class. Let's bring straps into your hands, palms facing up, and elbows will be anchored into your waist. Looking forward, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back. We're going to wing the hands out to the side and bring them back to center. Rotate or cuff. Hands go out to the side and bring them back. If you feel like you're having a really hard time keeping your elbows anchored down to your waist, you could place something between your elbow and your ribs, like a yoga block, or a pillow, or a rolled up towel. If you need to pause to go grab something, feel free to do that. And if you only have a tiny little bit of range here, a couple inches, totally fine. Just really focus on keeping your elbow anchored in. You can always take off the blue spring or the red spring to take down the resistance. I want to just get a little bit of work in your shoulders here. Last 2. Keep sitting up nice and tall without arching back. And 1. Very nice. Grabbing both straps, turning around, still on that red and a blue. Straps are in hands, palms down, elbows really tight to the rib cage, and I do want to be leaning if we can. Lengthened spine, not rounded low back. Hold that lean. Big breath in. Exhale, abs are on. Extend the arms on a diagonal. Elbows come back, tight to the ribs. Exhale. Bend the elbows, bring it back. Elbows come back, straight wrists if we can. Big breath in. Power this with your back. Elbows come back. Extend forward, palms are down. Last 2. And 1. Very good. Let's bring the carriage to a close and we'll move on. So last but not least, we're going to finish up with a stretch. I've got a red and a blue or a heavy and a light spring on. Let's stretch out our hamstrings because we've wailed on them quite a bit. I'm kneeling on my left knee. I'm placing my right foot onto the foot bar and I'm going to start off by squaring off my hips. So what does that mean? Naturally, my left hip is going to want to turn and twist toward the left wall, but we really need it to turn toward the front wall. You want to get that right hip down and even, and your knee should be right in line with your toes. Let's curl the upper spine so that the upper back is rounded. Scoop the pelvis under and just send the carriage back and forward without changing the position of the spine too much. So what we're doing here is we're lengthening through the hip flexors in a very effective way. If you're really not feeling that much, think about more scoop under with the pelvis. Good. After you've taken a few of those, relax your spine a little bit. We're going to keep the hip over the knee pretty much. Press the carriage away, extending the right leg out as best as you can. Bend the knee, bring it back. Press out, folding over your leg as best as you can. Try to think about sticking your butt out at the bottom and back up. I'm gonna move my toe to the foot bar on this next one so I can lower the heel under, get a little calf stretch. If you choose to do that, go for it. Good, bring it back. Arch of the foot back on the foot bar. Lean your hips forward. Reach your left arm up. Just go for a little back bend. Feel the stretch in your left hip. Doesn't have to be dramatic. Back, reach over to the right. Feel that deepening hip stretch. Good, let's go for the other side. Right foot up against the shoulder block. Arch of the left foot on the foot bar. Position yourself if you need to. Get that right hip squared forward. Get that left hip down. Curl the pelvis under, round through the spine. Let's just send that right knee back and forth. And oh, that's a spicy meatball. My right hip is definitely much tighter than the left. I'm curious which side is tight for you guys. Seems like there's always one. Good. Once you've had a couple of those, relax your spine to a more neutral position. Chest is nice and lifted. Try to keep your hip over your knee as best as possible. Lengthen out the left leg. Stick your butt out in the back as best as you can. Try to still support yourself through your abs. Bend the knee, bring it in, chest comes high. Let's take another one. Extend the left leg. Stick your butt out. Bring it back in. You can either do that again or follow my lead. Bring your toe to the foot bar. Square off the hips. Press out. Press your heel under the foot bar. Lower your chest as best as you can. Ooh, feel that nice big calf stretch. Oh yeah. Bring it back in. Close the stopper. Bring the arch back to the foot bar. Square the right hip forward. Reach your right arm up. Place your left hand on your knee. Take a nice little back bend, nothing crazy. Bend over to the left. Oh, feel that nice hip flexor stretch on the right side. Back to center, hands on the foot bar. Come back to kneeling on your machine and you are all done. You did it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed, of course, please subscribe. If you like this workout and you want to do a longer version of it, please check out the link in the description box for the extended version of this workout. It has quite a bit more core goodies and some jump board action that you can do optionally. Thank you so much to my membership supporters. Those are the folks who are making all of this free content happen, so thank you guys so much. And extra special thank you to the folks who have been with me for 6 months or more. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all. See you soon.